demands your presence for this great presentation.
Beowulf!
Beowulf!
I fight monsters.
I could fight any of these monsters.
Ripper, Shredder, Gouger.
Oh yeah, Gouger, Terror. I am the teeth in the darkness. That's what Beowulf sounds like, guys.
Have you ever seen the Beowulf movie?
If not, you should.
Yeah.
Because it's terrible.
It's very bad. They decided, hey, what if we, put a spin on the Beowulf story and he just fucks Grendel's mom?
He flexes on him super hard by killing him and then going down to town on his mom.
And then the dragon is his son. It's dumb.
Yeah,
it's a dumb movie.
It's not good. And the CGI is bad.
Anyway.
It's all CGI.
This isn't the Beowulf movie podcast, but believe me, we're considering it.
It's been in our minds for a long time.
We could talk about the Beowulf movie for,
a special episode, just rewatch the fucking It's basically anime, whatever.
Yeah.
This is
Angelina
actually...
Jolie is my waifu. I think that's hers. I think she played Grendel's
It is.
mom. Okay, cool.
But instead, what you're stuck with this week is the protagonist seat.
I am Alex.
And I am Ian.
And we talk about Japanese cartoons.
We do. Not 8 this week because Dr. Stone was gone and there was no Fate Babylon.
Yeah, there was no FGO episode.
It was weird. So that's just 2 right off at the beginning that we're skipping.
Yeah.
But you know what we're not skipping? We're not skipping Fire Force.
Fire Force. Bum, bum, bum,
More.
Bum, bum.
Just fucking.
So the power levels in this series got really fucking stretched.
Real fast. Right at the end.
Where it's okay, everyone has a weird, unique fire-related power, and then now we got, he cools the universe by absorbing the heat into himself, and the other one basically moves at light speed by breaking down his body into molecules.
Breaks his particles apart, but also moves so fast that he rewinds time so that his body is put back together.
Yeah, so now they got world-breaking abilities. Universe-breaking abilities.
Just be fucking cuz. Although I will say that at the very least, if not Sho, the fuck's his name? Shinra. If at least Shinra at the end is I can't do that anymore, it's because he can't adole a link with his brother. Because of reasons. I don't know. Something's gonna happen.
Sho explains the Adalo world, which is this weird,
It's hell.
Yeah, it's hell. And he's got this god lady that apparently is the evangelist watching over him. Which,
to me, if this person is a big figure in hell and just gives people powers, I don't think that's any evangelist. I think that is the Satan.
Yeah. Although the Adalo world's kind of cool. It's got a weird eldritch horror tinge to it.
I like it. I'm hoping that crazy demon that Shinra saw earlier comes back.
And that's his power source.
Yeah, the devil. So when they fight in the Adola world, which is probably 90% gonna happen, the two forms fight, or at least are there and look cool.
Yeah. So they end up fighting, and Sho is kicking the shit out of him because he has time stop, so of course he is.
He's busted as fuck. He's got the world, though.
But Shinra willpowers his way to just getting a power boost.
Basically, what Shinra does is, if Sho linked with the Evangelist
he links with
Sho,
then he is linked to the Evangelist through Sho.
Which I guess makes sense.
Yeah.
I'm just not gonna think about it too hard.
It was real convenient for him.
Yeah.
Then the Doctor notices at this point, he's like, wait, if he keeps moving at the speed of light like that, he could potentially open up a black hole. Should I tell him? Actually, wait. I'm on ground zero to see that. This is every scientist's dream.
I don't want to tell him. Which, I feel like if you're ground zero on a freaking black hole, I don't think that's something you actually want to witness, because you die.
Yeah, instantly.
Just instant spaghettification.
Although, unless it's slow, your bottom end goes in first, so you're all stretched out.
I don't know. I don't like that. That sounds painful. Because a black hole is something that's so dense that it literally absorbs light. Its force of gravity is so intense that light particles themselves just get absorbed into it. And that's gonna suck up your legs. I'm good.
Yeah.
But they fight, and it's cool.
So now he can keep up with him because of his time, his light speed thing.
We get kind of an interesting thing where, like, Shinra goes super light speed and disappears, and Sho stops time, and he's like, the fuck did he go?
And, yeah, was technically particles at the time, so of course he couldn't see him.
Yeah, so that's gonna be the fight. And that, for the most part, that is the fight.
But Shinra starts to overwork himself, and the doctor tells him, it's like, hey, you can't use that again. If you, like, overheat and you use it, you might not be able to, like, come back.
Yeah, if you overheat his particles and your ability stops working, you are just fucking particles, and you are dead. And Shinra's like, nah, I'm good.
And that's kind of where it ends, where it's like, dude, what's he gonna do?
We get a cool shot of Shinra with, like, real cool, like, design fire shooting out of his feet.
Yeah.
It, like, comes up in these weird little spikes around him. Is neat. I like it. I like a lot of the art in the second half. I feel like if they had done more cool shit like that, the first half would have been a lot cooler.
Yeah, the show's peaked in the second half. The first half was such a slog that every week I was almost like, let me see, is there a good enough reason to drop Fire Force? Nah, not yet.
It definitely picked up. Welcome to Demon School Iruma.
Pump it up.
Pump it up. Oh yeah, oh my girl.
Oh yeah, oh my girl.
The OP is a bop for this show.
So it's club time. Time to pick a club or a battler.
It's time for the battlers to just abduct people and just fucking...
So Asmodeus is able to protect Iruma from all the crazy recruiters because he's very strong and he makes a ring of fire around them. But
I went down, down, down,
and a burning ring of fire. No, but all the other students you see are basically being tortured.
Yeah.
And it actually looks like a scene out of, like, real hell, like real pandemonium.
Yeah.
And they're just like, clubs are kind of intense.
These guys are going a little extra. But they're just kind of walking around.
But then it turns out all the clubs are kept in order by, of course...
Student Council.
Yep,
Best
Student Council.
Girl.
And she shows up, and she actually tries to recruit Iruma to join the Student Council.
Here, I saw your noble performance in...
And of course, she's all embarrassed about it, because she doesn't, want to,
Because
she's just the best.
She likes him.
Yeah.
But she's like, here's an application. And Asmodeus takes it, and he's like, hey, thanks, an application. And then she's like, cool, whatever, and walks away.
And I thought he was probably going to instantly join that one, but they introduced a new character, and I'm pretty sure he's joining that guy's club.
That's what I think as well.
Yeah, so we meet a guy who's just as much of a...
He shows up in the background a lot, and he's a man with a large backpack.
Yeah, he's just a harmless, nice guy like Iruma, almost to the point where Aruma's like, this guy is scary similar.
Yeah, they are basically the same. And when I say, I feel like I can't stress enough, this man has a large backpack.
Yeah,
it is at least the width of 2 to 3 people.
And Iruma actually gets drawn to him because Aruma's ring almost forcibly pulls him across the school at Mach speed.
His ring is like, the plot is this way. We will advance it now. And it pulls him right into the dude. Turns out the dude has a choker that's made of the same... He knows what the endless gluttony ring is, and he has a choker made of the same material.
Yeah, it turns out this dude doesn't have a lot of magical affinity, so he seems like he's a magic item kind of guy, since he can't do it himself. Which works for Iruma because he can't do magic either, so clearly these two are going to, work together at some point.
Perfect. At the beginning of the episode, Sullivan also does a little change to the ring. Basically, it makes it so he can adjust the levels of magic that he puts out.
He's got 4. He shows him 3, and I'm assuming the eye at the end is like the
hey, release all of the magic at once spell.
He's like, don't do that unless it's an emergency.
And he's like, just say this and hold up your hand. And Iruma starts to do it, and he's like, nope, only in an emergency. Which, coming from a guy who had him read, like, a deadly ancient curse at the beginning of the series is kind of big. That's a big deal. But we get introduced to that feller, and we sort of learn his deal. Basically, he's kind of shitty and weak. He's only a rank 2, even though he's an upperclassman.
Yeah, and he wants to essentially... He has a club for magic items because since he's not good at magic, he wants to make something that demons who aren't good at magic are still able to participate in.
And my immediate thought was, hey, that would be a useful guy to have as a demon lord. Almost like they're setting up that Iruma's gonna be the demon lord at the end of the manga.
Well, I mean, they show him like in multiple like scenes of like who early on in the show they were like, who will be the next demon lord?
And it's
him.
Clearly just his hairstyle.
Yeah.
Which is the biggest irony. Whoa. But that's pretty much the episode.
Yeah, that's the episode.
We get introduced to a new guy. We're gonna see him join a club. We'll get to see how student council president reacts to that. Probably not well, because she wants those manga readings.
Yeah.
We also get to see, I enjoyed this scene where Sabnok joins a battler. He's like, Demon Lord Club.
Where all they do is they basically read Demon Lord like, it's a fan club for the Demon Lord.
They're fucking nerds.
Yeah.
They're the nerdiest dudes
but
ever.
He's super into it. He's like, I haven't read these books before.
This
New
is
information on the
amazing.
Demon Lord.
I am so into this.
And they're all like, one of us.
One of us.
But yeah, it's cool.
I liked it. Because it was like, it's something you wouldn't expect because Sabnok is like, he's your jock type.
He is.
But he's a fanboy.
He's a fanboy.
You know what I'm a fanboy of? Orisuke. Show's real solid.
Yeah, we meet the main character.
We meet the main character and his harem, who we've already met before. Yeah. Turns out Joro's
those two
cool
girls
best friend.
Yeah, those two girls from that other school that helped him find the book that one time, those are his harem.
Yeah. And he's just a chill dude because they learned that the library is going to be shut down. So, oh no, what are they going to do?
And he runs across that guy again.
Because everyone else has like, hey, I have this group of people that I can go to that can start using the library.
And so
Joro's like, I don't have friends. But you guys are my friends.
He ends up running across him and he's like, hey, the same thing happened to my school, so I can come over and help you out. And he's like, perfect.
And he does.
And turns out Pansy knows him.
Yes. They went to the same middle school together. And Pansy is visibly uncomfortable by his presence.
We find out he likes Pansy, and Pansy does not like him at all.
And this harem is trying to set him up with Pansy.
Yeah. At the end, later half of the episode, they all split up, and they go to dinner they go to a diner just with the two girls from the harem, and they're like, let's just hang out for a little bit. And they're like,
I like the scene where they split up because basically
the girls are trying to push him to be with the main character guy.
Why don't you go with Pansy? Why don't you go with main character fella? Why don't you guys walk home together?
But then Asano steps in and she's like, hey, I actually need your help looking over something.
Which was real cool. I was like, you're good folks.
And she's like,
well, you're not, but you did a good thing this one time.
She's like, hey, thanks, Asano. And she's like, I'm just following orders. Meaning like, Joro's.
Yeah. Because he's a Trojan good guy. You don't think he's a good guy, but he does some good guy things.
And he notices something's weird about these two girls that are in his harem, because when they all go out to dinner, they ask, hey, I should say, they just get drinks, that's it.
Yeah.
And when they go get to
they don't even drink them. They just, sit down with drinks, have a short discussion, and then leave.
They have, just a full, glass of, soda just sitting there.
I saw that, and I was like, how fucking wasteful. If I'm paying for a drink, I'm paying for it, and I'm getting at least one free refill.
And she ends up going straight to they end up going straight to the point where they're like, yeah, we actually really like him. Both of us are in love with him.
We both love him.
But we need Pansy to date him.
Oh.
And they're like, why? Didn't you say you like him? Yeah, but he likes her, and so we want him to be happy.
We're going to put aside our feelings And also we recognized that we as friends neither of us could win because that would ruin our friendship. So in order to preserve our friendship, we're going to put aside our feelings.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, that's kind of fucked up, but you do you, fam.
And he's like, yeah, I can't help you. And then the other Cosmos and Himawari were like, yeah, we can't help you either. And they're like, that's weird.
Everyone's like, yeah, we're not going to do that. That's bizarre.
And he ends up talking to Pansy, and Pansy ends up saying, she's like, yeah, he was my demon in middle school. Like, he's such a great guy, but he's oblivious to anything around him, like how he's hurting people.
Yeah, he's good-natured, but he doesn't look at the world around him, so his actions often cause trouble for other people. Mm-hmm. Which I think is gonna come into play, because it has to. That's some...
Yeah, so Pansy, she explains that he ends up, he doesn't know he's hurting the girls in his group, like, because he's oblivious. He's oblivious to their feelings, whereas Joro, the opposite. Joro knows these girls like him.
Yeah, he sees everything below the surface. He expects the worst from people, and he sees their deep down motives.
And he asks Pansy if she doesn't want anything to do with him, and she says yes, and he's like, all right, I'll take care of it then.
And he's gonna take care of it. Joro's gonna do something.
I'm assuming he's gonna do something that's like in like a Joro way, where he's gonna just do something shitty, but in the end it'll work out somehow.
Yeah, he's gonna be shitty to someone and potentially alienate some friendships, and eventually it's all gonna work out.
And then there's one scene after the credits where, I don't know if you saw that.
I did.
Sun-chan and Pansy meet in the baseball field, and she's like, why'd you call me out here? And he's like, oh, no reason. I just thought it was finally my time.
Fucking playing the long game, Sun-chan. You got me.
I feel like, though, he's not doing something shitty.
It's gotta be something.
I feel like it's a red herring making it look like he's gonna do something shitty.
Probably, because, I mean, you set him up as the best friend up until this point. And you've already done, like, the heel turn Sun-chan
Yeah, you
thing.
can't do it again.
You can't.
I think at this point, whatever he's doing is actually part of whatever scheme. He's like, hey, I got an idea that can help you guys out.
That would be fun.
I feel like he's gonna pretend. He's gonna pretend like. I feel like he's gonna pretend like date Pansy for like just to get at the other guy.
That wouldn't surprise me, because everyone knows that he had feelings.
Yeah.
So like, I think that would be fun. I think that would be a fun little turn.
And despite the fact that he's kind of like he's kind of a dumbass, like he was at one point considered like, you know, the Chad Slayer of the school.
Yeah. And you know what? He's still a good-looking guy.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to seeing the more fucking twists and turns that take place in this. Mm-hmm. 'Cause like this main character is a bad guy, but not a bad guy. He's a good bad guy.
Yeah.
And I think that's pretty interesting. That the final villain is going to be someone who's just like a cool dude.
He reminds me of 8-Man.
Oh?
Yeah, from my teen romantic comedy is wrong or whatever.
Oh.
It's an older series. It just recently ended, but no one cares because it took too long to get there. Too many hiatuses.
That's a shame. But it happens a lot. That's why you just gotta be like the guy for One Piece and just write nonstop for 30 years.
I don't know how anyone can like still invest that much.
I don't know. But I enjoy investing my time every week into Didn't I Say to make my abilities average in the next life.
I do too. It's always good.
I like this show.
And in this episode, Mile realizes that her group is getting kind of dependent on her.
Everyone's just kind of taking it a little too easy.
Because they're like, oh, we got Mile who can handle that.
And Mile's like, guys, if I die or when I'm gone, I don't want the group to fall apart.
And then they were like, pshh. And they're
You're
like, what do you
not
mean?
Gonna die.
And she's like, no, you can die at any moment. And then she flashbacks to the fact that she actually has died before, so...
That was a good point. That made me think, oh yeah, the isekai protagonist would probably understand the importance of death.
And they take on the most dangerous quest that they can find, just to prove, like, hey, because at first Miles like, maybe you guys shouldn't do that quest. And they're like, no, if we back out, that's like us saying that we can't do anything without you.
That's admitting that we were wrong, but we're gonna do it anyway.
And it's to find these this lost research team that went into the woods. And several parties have failed at it, so the reward's like 10,000 gold or something.
It's crazy high. For good reason, as we find out later.
Yeah, they go into the woods, and they end up,
everything's pretty good for a bit.
And then beast people attack them.
And then fucking beast people show up. And they're like, that's weird. And that's when Miles is finally like, I think we've all proven that you guys are good enough. I think I'm going to step in
and help out. Because they use her search ability.
Which is very useful.
And she ends up giving Mavis these potions, which enhance her ability, but they have a huge like physical drawback, so she should only take one per day.
It's full of nanomachines.
It's full of nanomachines.
Mavis, you need to take these nanomachines, but be careful.
ID tag swords with ID tag armor.
I've ID tagged your sword. It won't swing for anyone else but you. Just take these nanomachines and it'll be fine.
But Snake, don't worry. I can remove the ID tag on any sword you bring me. Drebin.
That's right, Snake. But she gives super potion to Mavis.
And they discover that the beast people have taken all the researchers hostage. And in front of, like, the Petra?
Yeah, they're basically digging out the Petra. They're archaeologizing.
Yeah, and they find where the people are being held, and they use Miles' sleep spell on the beast people, which is like just broken.
It's so useful.
And then they're like, hey, we're here to rescue you. And they're like, you girls should just get out of here. You're too weak to do this. And then Mavis is like, step away from the bars.
Step away from the bars.
And she cuts them down and then turns to the group and just goes, and I'm the weakest one out of all of us.
And then she cuts a hole in the back wall and is like, yeah, you guys should probably leave through here. It's more inconspicuous.
But then they find out that the head researcher is trapped inside. They took her deeper into the ruins.
We gotta save the professor.
And then they go inside, and there's a bunch of beast people there who they beat instantly.
They kick the shit out of them.
And like, if you go in there, you'll die.
And they're like, what a Raina is like, what a cliched threat.
He's like, fine, then go.
Fine, fuck you then. I'm trying to save you.
And then they go there, and they see the professor, and they let her out, and they're like, what's a child doing as, like, the professor?
I'm not a child. Oh, so you're a dwarf. I'm not a dwarf either. I'm an elf.
Yeah. And then turns out this place was run by a black dragon. Or, like, an elder dragon.
They see around the tomb, they see all kinds of, like, weird carvings of things from our world, like cars and
and airplanes
and cities being bombed. So they're like, this is a relic of some crazy shit. What kind of weird stuff is this? And Miles is like, I know what kind of weird stuff that is. Yeah. And then an elder dragon shows up.
Yeah, the dragon shows up and they all attack it, and like Miles even like, all right, let me handle this. And she does her like super, beam move on it, and it doesn't do anything.
Because at first they're like, oh no, it's an earth dragon. And then it's like, fuck you, I'm an earth dragon. And they're like, oh no, it can talk. It must be an elder dragon.
And he's like, He's like, you guys are pretty powerful spellcasters. I actually felt that. And then he
scratched me.
And then he swings his tail at Mile, and she slams against the wall and coughs up a bunch of blood.
Fucking wrecks her for the first time in probably Miles' entire second life.
Because
Mile takes damage.
Because Mile is only half as strong as an elder dragon.
She is the average of the elder dragon's strength.
And then all the other girls freak out, and they're like, Miles not dead. And so Mavis goes and drinks all of her potions.
All of them at once. Mile is out. She is down for the count, and she is bleeding from her head. So instead of using healing magic on her,
like Pauline's thing.
Yeah, Pauline's whole thing. I will heal myself while you hit me, and then walk up to you and beat you with my staff.
Yeah, I am the party's cleric.
I was a little disappointed at Pauline.
Instead, I'm going to use attack magic.
I'm going to use attack magic.
Which is my attack magic is hot water.
Instead of healing my ally, I am going to fight the thing that wrecked the shit out of her in one hit.
And she's way stronger than me, but you know what? I got this.
We got this. And they don't got it.
They don't got it at all.
They rage attack it and they scratch it a little bit, and it's like, haha. And I healed myself.
And things look bleak, and it ends on a to be continued with their peppy ending theme after with.
I'm pretty sure she's not dead.
Yeah.
I think we can all say for certain that Mile is not actually dead.
Yeah.
What I am curious about is why the Elder Dragon had all that other shit carved on the tomb.
Maybe the Elder Dragon is another person who got isekai'd, but they were like, I want to be the strongest thing.
That's kind of what I'm wondering, is that maybe the Elder Dragon is an isekai protagonist. But I guess we'll have to wait till next week to find out.
Yeah.
Shrug.
Salaryman.
Barbecue.
Yeah, they have a barbecue.
The BBQ.
And the crane guy who... I really don't like the crane guy.
I don't either. He's, not interesting. He's boring.
He's talking about making bombs on his YouTube channel.
Wearing a ninja mask?
Yeah, because he didn't want to go to the company picnic. And they're all at the company picnic, and it's just some bits about, hey, Lizard's cooking bugs.
I liked the fact that Lizard dresses like I do. That was cool. And that was it. That's all I really gotta say.
Is that even a thing? I didn't...
No, he in this episode in his casual attire, I was like, hey, that's usually how I dress. Just a unbuttoned button down with a t-shirt underneath and just pants. Lizard dresses like I do. I like it. Because, actually, I do like everyone's casual attire. Because, I feel like you get a better...
Besides Crane, who just wears the fucking, hoodie.
Yeah. He doesn't count, because we don't like him. But I like everyone else's casual attire. Because it gives you a better feel for the characters.
I am pretty much glad that next week's the last episode of this. I'm tired of it.
It wasn't particularly interesting.
It's just they have a barbecue. Lethal Hamster takes one of the bombs he was building and puts it on the thing.
Because apparently he lives very close to the barbecue place. Which is like, if you're going to live that close, you might as well just fucking go and get some free food.
Yeah, but...
Instead of making bombs in your house, fucking Timothy McVeigh.
And then the second part, he has everyone hand out flyers.
Yeah, and then they...
The company president has everyone hand out flyers.
And then they don't. Because they don't care.
They go to get sushi.
Yeah. They try to figure out a transformer.
Yeah.
That's a transformer for those playing along at home.
But then the president shows up, and then he's like, hey guys, I finished your transformer. And they're like, whoa, that's our company chief.
Hey, cool. And so this is on you, right?
Yeah, and he's like, so anyway, we got to make a movie because I entered this in some company film festival.
That's going to be the next episode.
Yeah, and they're going up against a tiger and a leopard who I guess hate Big Cat because of something that happened in college.
Yeah, so now it's their chance to get savage revenge as they smoke in the dark wearing black suits.
And they both got tough guy voices.
Because they're evil, get it?
Yeah, and that's not going to be our last episode next week.
Yeah.
No guns life.
No guns life. So...
Juzo!
I love how people say Juzo. Juzo. I like it because it is dumb.
So he came back to his apartment last week.
Who?
Inoue Juzo. And in his chair was Pepper, the Burugan chick.
The assassin. She's like, ha, I have personal business with you. And Juzo's like, sorry, we're closed. Get the fuck out of my house.
And she's essentially says that she wants to, own Juzo because she's got a whole... Because her whole deal is just, like an SM bit.
Yeah.
Where she's like, I love owning things.
I'm a sexy dominatrix.
And then after her gun slave unit is named Seven.
Yeah.
That's his name. And he ends up fighting Juzo, and she's like, pin him to the floor. And instead, he pins him to the floor because Juzo's way better than him.
Juzo is great. Juzo is a gun slave unit who has actually seen combat. So,
and yeah, Seven just sounds really young.
He does. And you get the feel because, like, Juzo's got the revolver for the head.
And he's even like, I know you guys work for Barugan because there's no way that the EMS would allow a gun slave unit along with a hand, with the people who, like, pull the trigger, just wandering around in public.
I didn't realize the hand was an actual, like, physical augmentation. Because she has an actual augmentation on her arm that is the hand.
And they ended up fighting, so Seven punches Juzo and they like fly out the side of the building.
Yeah.
And as they're fighting, she actually has like a halberd-like weapon, so she jumps down.
Cool.
And as they're fighting, Tetsuo shows up to kind of like defend Juzo.
Because he's Tetsuo. He's always got to get in Trouble's way.
And he actually uses Harmony to take over Seven and stop Pepper from hitting him.
And Juzo does not make it out unscathed, unfortunately.
He loses an arm.
He loses a whole ass arm.
Yeah, and
not
then,
his Funke Faust arm though, which is good.
And then after Tetsuo and Mary shows up, and she's like, "Oh, that's the CEO's kid." She's like, "Well, we can't lay a finger on him." And then she goes and like tongues Juzo in front of Mary, and she's like, "Dibs."
Yeah, it's weird.
And then she leaves.
Yeah. And everyone's like, well, that was weird, but I'm glad that was over.
And then Cronin shows up, and then he's
of course he does.
And he's like, yeah, so Barugan silently pulled back the request to go search for Tetsuo, because I'm assuming that thing you're hiding
and everyone's just kind of
which means they're probably going to be coming after you?
Yeah.
So we'll leave a small guard detail here, but you're on your own to defend yourself.
Yeah, we can't officially make too many moves against Barugan, but we can leave a couple dudes here to.
But obviously, he can tell Cronin, being the type of person he is he's gonna make moves against Barugan.
Cronin is gonna be the underground guerrilla warfare that we all want him to be.
I really like Cronin because he's like the only non-extended character in this that's like an actual badass that can like fight.
It's great. I love him, and he's just a cool character too because he's a loose cannon cop. He doesn't play by anybody's rules but his own.
And his rival is the loose cannon detective, who doesn't play by anyone's rules but his own.
With a cannon for a head. Everyone is cannons.
Everyone's loose cannons.
Everyone is loose cannons. Guys, we need more loose cannons.
He has a nice scene with Tetsuo, though, where he's sitting with him and Tetsuo kind of lights his cigarette for him.
Because Juzo is smoking, as usual. And he has like a flashback to his partner driving him somewhere because he's like
back during like the war and stuff.
Yeah, and Juzo is all chained up in the back of the van, and his partner's like, I'm sorry, partner, I guess it was my fault for treating you like a person instead of a tool. And you can see that the man begins to cry, and
we can tell like everything. Tetsuo is obviously going to end up being Juzo's hand.
Yeah, of course he is.
Yeah.
But Juzo, his whole cigarette goes out, and he's like, fuck.
They're going to leave Tetsuo for a while because he's been overusing Harmony, and he's basically causing damage to himself.
Because they've kind of figured it out where, like, they suspect that when he uses Harmony too much, his physical body actually starts taking the damage from the body he took over. So, like, that's not good.
Yeah. And Mary actually goes and gets him a new client. So we're going to, like, change focus real quick.
We're going to do, like, a little investigation. We've been doing a lot of plot stuff lately.
Yeah, we got to do now a different arc.
We need some more stuff.
And this dude shows up, and he's like, I need you to help me deal with an extended ghost.
He says, I need you to come help me with my... I think it's my friend and the extended that's haunting her.
Yeah.
And when he said that, my instinct was not, oh, it's a ghost. My instinct was, oh, she's being stalked, and we need to track down the stalker.
Yeah, but according to Mary, a ghost.
No, it's actually just a fucking ghost. We need to hunt a ghost, guys. We're gonna shoot a ghost.
So ghost hunt next week.
Yeah, I'm excited for that. I like ghost hunt stuff. But that was this week. That was all the anime we watched.
We didn't watch any other anime, but we'll watch more anime. We'll watch a lot of last episodes next week.
Yeah, we're going to get some hard last episodes.
And if you want to hear about that, subscribe to this channel. Or if you're watching on any of our other systems, like
If you're watching on YouTube, subscribe to our YouTube channel. If you're listening to us on Deezer, Spotify, iTunes,
Google Play
Music, I don't know how many of those have the ability to subscribe to podcasts through those, but do that.
Yeah, just keep watching.
If you enjoy listening to us ramble on for indeterminate periods of time about anime, then leave us positive reviews on whatever media that you're listening on.
Yeah, and follow us on social media to find out when we update. We are on Twitter and Facebook at Protagonist Seat, respectively.
And reach out to us on there. Follow us, like our stuff, retweet our stuff, because we can't stress enough. It's nice having regular viewers. Thank you all for being regular viewers. For those of you that
we don't thank you enough, so thank you.
Exactly.
And look forward to what we're going to do to wrap up the end of the year.
Exactly. That'll be something nice and pleasant that I'm sure everyone will enjoy.
We got some stuff planned.
And once again, the best way to help your favorite Anime podcast grow is word of mouth. Share us with other people. Let other people know we exist, because we can only do so much.
Tell your Discord servers.
Tell your Discords, guys. But anyway, that has been us. We hope to see you again. Stay tuned for some cool endings. And thank you for coming by.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.